Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. It is so good to see you again. It is so good to be here on this beautiful, cozy day. It is chilly outside. It is rainy and drizzly, although it's starting to let up now, but the weather says it will continue to drizzle later on today. But I am absolutely loving this weather. This is my favorite type of weather. It's just a little chilly and rainy. I wish it was still raining right now, but I just love when it's rainy and a little bit cold. It just makes me feel so cozy and so happy and so energetic. I don't know if that's weird or if anyone else can relate to that, but rainy weather just makes me so happy to be alive. It is my favorite, and it just gives me so much like creative energy. Like I just want to do artwork right now. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I thought I would sit down and chat with you today, and just show you maybe a couple things that I got for Christmas that I really am enjoying. And the first one you saw this morning when I was doing my cup of tea. I have my Edgar Allan Poe mug that I'm obsessed with. This is so gorgeous. And my husband got it for me for Christmas. I love it. I finished all my tea, that's why I'm like, ah. But it's so stunning. I love coffee mugs. I love teacups. I do have like a small collection of those, but I probably have more coffee mugs. But this one is just top level here. I love this one so much. I'm so happy to have this in my life, but that was something Alan got me for Christmas and I've been loving it so much. He just makes me so happy. I threw on this like gray cozy coat that has like a collar that you can go like this with, and it just like makes me feel like Dracula. I don't know. I love it though. So another item I got for Christmas, you may have saw in my last video, it is Phantom of the Opera. It is such a special book And I have my little stack of books here with me to show you. It is the Phantom of the Opera, the Barnes & Noble edition. It is absolutely stunning. The cover is just a piece of artwork. And the entire book is gorgeous. It has the gold lining of the pages, and it is actually the Phantom of the Opera and other Gothic tales. So there are several stories in here. I am reading Phantom of the Opera right now, but I think after that I might go on to read The Family of a Vordalak by Alexei Tolstoy. And I've been wanting to read some Tolstoy for a long time. So that's why I'm more drawn to it, but there are so many other good authors in here. There is an Edgar Allan Poe, and there's some H.P. Lovecraft. There are probably like 15 to 20 stories in here. I might just read them in order. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm excited about it. So another Christmas gift I got from Alan was this David Lynch book called Room to Dream. I've actually been wanting this for a couple years now. This book is actually a hybrid of a biography and a memoir of Lynch. I can't wait to delve into more of his life and what drew him to his purpose of creating all of his pieces of art. I've watched a lot of documentaries on him. I've read some of his other books. Lynch to me is the art god. Like, he is my ultimate art inspiration. He is that person that if like someone asks you what famous person, dead or alive, would you like to sit down and have dinner with, for me that is David Lynch. I love him. He's such an inspiration. One of the last books I was reading, it talks about transcendental meditation, which blew my mind. I didn't know that was a thing, but David Lynch does that twice a day, and it's basically meditation, but it's almost on another level, to where you reach this space between almost asleep, almost awake, and there's just this little piece of time right there that you reach like this ultimate bliss existence. Crazy. Anyways, obsessed. Can't wait to read this. I don't know when I'm going to be putting that on my list to read. I'm working on this month's lineup, obviously, of Phantom. What else am I reading right now? Oh, I'm reading, so I'll get to that in a minute. Let's stay focused on my Christmas haul. Just to round it out, the other thing I got from Alan was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories. Lewis Carroll, the original author edition. I don't know what the other stories are, so I'm very interested in that. But it does have the original illustrations as well by John Tenniel, which, fun fact, I actually bought the rights to use some of Tenniel's Alice's illustrations to use on my website for my portfolio one time, because that's how much I love Alice in Wonderland. Anyways, I can't wait to read these stories as well. You know what? I'll try to find these and link them all below, so if you're interested, you can look them up if you would like to. But going back to what I'm reading right now, other than Phantom of the Opera, I am currently reading Julius Caesar. This is my first Shakespeare play that I'm ever reading. The text is more of a dense read for me because it is my first Shakespeare book that I've read, but some of the lines in here are just magic. They are just the most beautiful lines I've ever read in my life, so I am truly enjoying this so far. I love the political theme in here. I love the fact that our protagonist, Julius, is barely even in the book at all, but this book wouldn't exist without him. There's just so many really great things. I do highly recommend it if you haven't read Shakespeare. I think this might be a good starting point. I'm only about halfway through, so I'll give you an update on that later. And then another book that I'm currently reading is by my favorite author right now. It's Ada Limon. Limon? I hope I pronounced that right. I don't know. But I just randomly came across her one day on the internet and fell in love with her poetry right away. I just connected with Ada's poetry. Ada's work reaches my soul like no other poet can reach my soul. Some of her work, I would read it and would uncontrollably start sobbing, which is not like me at all. And then there's other pieces of her work that just make me laugh. I'm so obsessed with her right now. Right now I have the Carrying, but there was, I want to get one of her other books so bad. I think it's called Pretty Dead Things. I'll have to look that up to make sure. But her work, some of her poems just stay with me for days or weeks. Like after I read a poem, I'll still be thinking about it like a week later. And that's how much it affects me. And there was one particular poem I read online that is in this other book that I really want to get this poem was called The Last Move. And the second half of this poem speaks of a story that she once heard about a girl in a hotel in LA, and it also has to do with a water tank, and that's all I really want to divulge at this time. But that poem haunted me. I fell in love with it in a weird way, but also was just like haunted by it at the same time, and I couldn't figure out why. And then a couple weeks ago, my husband and I started watching this show on Netflix, and it was called The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. And as I'm watching this show, I am realizing that this poem that I read from this author about a month ago was actually true. I could not sleep for a couple days. I felt sick to my stomach. I still feel sick to my stomach. But I still highly recommend this author. Yeah, she's a good one. I feel like someone that can write a piece of work that has that lasting effect on a reader in such a deep way, it's truly they're a diamond in the rough. It is so hard to find pieces of work that just stay with you for as long as her work does for me. Moving along, I recently started doing some audiobooks. I don't know why it took me so long to do audiobooks, but now that I have started, I'm obsessed. I just finished up Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, is it? I'm the worst. Truly Devious by... Oh yeah, I got it right, Maureen Johnson. Just finished that book. I do highly recommend it. It is about our protagonist named Stevie Bell. She is a true crime enthusiast. She gets accepted into this academy called Ellingham, and while she is there, she makes it her personal mission to solve a murder mystery that had happened at Ellingham Academy when it first opened. And while you're reading this, you're kind of getting like this time hop of Stevie's story and then the timeline of when the academy first opened. So there are two separate storylines that will intertwine together. I loved it, and I never got bored once listening to this audiobook. That's one of the hard things for me with audiobooks, I find, is like I either get bored, and that happens with books too, like you just don't connect with them. But this one kept me interested from start to finish, and as soon as I finished Truly Devious, I immediately started the sequel, which is The Vanishing Stair. I think I'm only a couple of chapters into that one right now. It is perfect if you love a crime mystery, and the characters are so interesting and lovable, and I just can't recommend it enough. I think I'm gonna go pick a few more books to round out this month's read. I did jump onto my Goodreads for this year, and I set a goal of how many books I want to read in 1 year, and I set it for basically I want to try to read 2 books a month, but really I'm trying to aim more than that so I don't disappoint myself if I don't do more than that, but still it's hard for me to read more than 2 books a month. We'll see. Anyways, I want to add a couple more books on my TBR pile, so let's go take a look at my bookshelf and see what we can find. Okay, so I chose Agatha Christie because first of all, I didn't even know that I had this. It probably just came into a pile of like, I got like a donation of books from somebody and it was probably in there and I didn't even realize it at the time, but I do know that people who enjoy Maureen Johnson's books, the truly Devious one that I just read, do recommend Agatha Christie's books because I think they're also murder mysteries. So I think I just found a little goodie, a gem that I can't wait to read. This one is The Body in the Library. And it looks like a short, quick, fun read, so I think that'll be a good one to add to the pile. I also wanted to do some kind of graphic novel or comic book style book, so I pulled Daredevil Visionaries. Daredevil is one of my favorite characters. I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I love Daredevil. I've had this guy for a while, and I think I read it when I first got it, but my husband and I were cleaning this past weekend. We just found it, and why not read this one? This will be fun to read. And then the other one that I'm adding to this month's pile, it's the last one, is called The Hating Game by, who is the author? Let's look it up. By Sally Thorne. I just ordered this one off Amazon, so it should be here soon, but I am actually doing a buddy read on this with my cousin. We're going to read the book together and kind of talk about our opinions and thoughts as we go through the book. I thought it would be a fun thing to do during this quarantine crazy time. But it is a modern day romance. I think it's a bit of a twist on it instead of like your general like mushy gushy Hallmark type of storylines, which I actually do love. This one has a different approach to it from what I've heard, so that's why I wanted to give this one a go. So I'll let you know how I do on my TBR pile that I've got going for this month. But other than that, I've just been still decluttering my house. I know I talk about that in a few of my other videos. I'm really focusing on decluttering my art section right now because I want to be able to get to my art supplies and do some painting and just relax in that aspect of my life. I'm really enjoying getting rid of things that I don't use in my day-to-day, and it has helped my mental health so much. So yeah, thanks so much for just hanging out with me today on this cozy day. I hope I have more days like this, although I do need sunny days after some rainy days because I am a creature that loves to be outdoors as well, which I think is just human nature. Like, we are meant to be outdoors. I'll probably go make more tea. Surprise, surprise. And then Soren will probably get up from his nap. He's taking his nap right now. And we'll find some fun activities to do. But thank you again so much for hanging out. I would love to know if you are reading something. What are you reading? Yeah, just let me know what you're reading down below in a comment. I would love to check it out and chat with you about it. I hope you are staying well, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye. This is a look This is a look.